ladies and gentlemen, if you trust the BBC, I'm going to tell you they actually got something right. The BBC got access to the case file, the indictment that was submitted to judges to say these men are human traffickers and these men are guilty. Now, this is a bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, and the BBC actually reported factually. So you would think, after 1.5 years of investigating me, after spying on me and following me for 6 months, after locking me in a prison cell for 3 months, after going through every electronic device I have ever owned, after searching every property that I have ever had, after talking to every girl who I have ever made love with, they have completed this indictment to show the judge that I'm a human trafficker, and the BBC have got their hands on it. And the BBC are leaking information from the file. So given the millions of dollars spent, millions spent trying to prove I'm something I'm not, given the massive amounts of human resources used to try to prove that I'm a human trafficker, the indictment says, the bombshell, the worst thing the BBC could possibly find, because believe me, they want to find the worst thing, is that I once referred to my girlfriend as a slave. Think about that. BBC, if you're listening, that isn't the bombshell that you think it is. If I were a left-wing political pundit and a social justice warrior and somebody who used virtue signaling like you all do when you cover up pedophiles and sex offenders like Hugh Edwards, if I were like you and you found a message of me saying to my ex-girlfriend, "You're my slave," you could probably leak that and get me fired from a job at the BBC. But let me tell you something. I did write that. All of my WhatsApp conversations for my last 4 years were read in fine detail by the authorities to try to prove that I'm a human trafficker, okay? I did in fact write that my ex-girlfriend was my slave. Now, here's the important takeaways from that. Can you imagine what should be in this case file? If I am the man they say I am, there should be chains, dungeons, handcuffs, urine-stained mattresses, messages saying, "Bitch, get back out on the street." Me selling people, transactions, "I'll meet you here, I have 3 girls for sale." Proof anyone traveled anywhere. Me physically moving people from one place to another. That's what human trafficking is. Why, if the BBC got their hands on the indictment, do they print a story that says I called my ex-girlfriend a slave? Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is the great bombshell. The BBC lined this up for me. That is as bad as the evidence against me gets, which is insane. Because the girl who I called a slave, obviously as a joke, 1, did not make a complaint about me, 2, is protesting that I'm innocent, 3, has told everybody I'm a lovely person, and 4, it's not even about the girls who lied and came here. I wasn't even talking about them when I said someone's my slave. So you have to ask yourself a question. Does me once saying on WhatsApp, "Oh, don't worry, she'll clean the house, she's my slave," does that merit locking me, my brother, and my friends up in a fucking prison for 3 months, subjecting us and our families to the worst forms of physical and psychological torture, locking us in our houses? I haven't been free since December 2022. I'm still not free now. If I leave the city limits of Bucharest, I will be arrested and thrown back in jail because I once said a girlfriend is my slave. I did say that, BBC. You got that right. But you have miscalculated how underwhelming that is as a bombshell after this level of media storm and investigation. Yeah. Let me give you another example while I light my cigar with my $55,000 lighter. If you're one of the investigators, obviously trying to put me in jail, if you're an immoral person, you'll never own one of these. Gotta put God first. Start doing the right thing. I had a conversation 1 week ago with the mother of my daughter. She sent me an image of my daughter drawing with crayons on the walls of the house. And I said, "Haha, I'll kill her when I get home." Now, I did say that. Cut it up, take it out of context as much as you like, spread it around the world. Because I said that, would you think it was prudent to spend millions of dollars investigating me for potentially being a homicidal child murderer? Would you think it prudent to take me and my brother and my friends and lock us in prison for month after month after month while you investigated the possibility that we run an organized criminal group that conspires to kill children when no children are harmed, no children are murdered, no crime has ever taken place, but I did say in a message, I'll kill her when I get home. That is exactly the same as what has happened to me, ladies and gentlemen, because the core of the evidence, the piece of evidence that makes me look the worst, is me saying, haha, this girl's my slave, she'll clean the house, she's my slave. Does that mean I enslave people? I am a half-black man. I am a descendant of African-American slaves. Does me making a joke that my ex-girlfriend was my slave mean that I'm in fact a slave owner? You can make up your own minds, ladies and gentlemen. I encourage all of the affiliates and TikTokers out there to cut this argument up and put it out there, because this is the bombshell that the BBC have dropped. I'm going to give you another example of evidence leaked from the case file that's in the news I would like to address. One girl who is friends with another girl. We've all seen, I'm not allowed to talk to these people, and I do not talk to these people. I want to make that perfectly clear. We've all seen the girls online saying, I'm a victim in this case file. I've told the police to take me out. I'm not a victim. This is my friendship group. They're all my friends. No one's human trafficked. Drop the investigation. This is bullshit. Everyone's seen those girls. These are girls in the case file, listed as victims. Everyone's seen them protest my innocence online probably 20, 30 times. They keep doing it. I'm not telling them to. I have no communication with them, but because they care about us and they care about Georgiana, Luana, and the other girls involved in the case, they are actively fighting to get their names removed as victims from the case file. Now, bombshell from the case file. Ready? Strap yourselves into your seats, ladies and gentlemen, because this indictment was built and put together to prove I'm a human trafficker. Bombshell from the case file. All of these girls, the girls who were locked up, the girls who were said to be victims but they're not, mess around on TikTok, as everyone does. I'm banned from TikTok. I don't have TikTok. Half the people here probably have TikTok. And they did TikTok live streams of their own accord by themselves and posted TikTok videos and all helped each other out, build each other's TikToks up. During one conversation once, with all context ignored, I'm going to say the clip first. It was said by one girl, if you don't make some TikTok videos this evening, I'm going to throw you off of a balcony. Bombshell. Wow. I guess Tristan Tate is a human trafficker. That is the second bombshell taken from this indictment. Now, I know that when girl A typed that to girl B read it and went, ha ha ha, she's so funny. I know that she was not actually seriously thinking that she was threatened of being thrown off of a balcony. Ladies and gentlemen, the house she lives in has no balcony. But that, again, is another bombshell from the file. So when the BBC think it's fun to leak tiny bits of information, by the way, the full conversation, which wasn't submitted to the judge in the indictment, they only posted that little one line. Full conversation was, hey babe, how you doing? Oh, I'm good, babe. How are you doing? I'm fine. I was making TikTok videos today. Yeah, 6 o'clock is the best time to post. Oh, I didn't make any TikTok videos today. Oh, well, haha, you're lazy. If you don't make any, I'll throw you off the balcony. That was the full conversation, by the way, which is in the case files, but not in the indictment, because obviously they're trying to make me look guilty. So that is the second bombshell. Can you imagine if you found a real human trafficker, what would be in that case file? Can you imagine? Think about it. Someone who kidnaps, sells, and traffics women. What would be in the indictment for the judge to look at? So although the BBC and a bunch of these stupid news organizations, the MSN, the fake news, think they're very clever by leaking these tiny bits of the case to try to make me look guilty, let me explain something to them. You know who else looked at my indictment? Judges. Honorable, stand-up judges. Educated judges who understand law, who understand what a crime is, who definitely understand what a joke is. And every time a prominent Romanian judge has looked at the indictment, at least one of them, if not both of them, have voted to release me and loosen my restrictions. If there was evidence in that indictment that I was actually, in fact, a human trafficker, that would not be the case, and it shouldn't be the case, because human traffickers belong in jail. So, Matt Shea, the DNG, is working on a new hit piece about me. Bombshell from the case file. I called my ex-girlfriend a slave once. Oh my God, lock me up. We'll be there. Amongst the usual, probably fake witnesses, faces blacked out. I'm going to guess there's going to be a bunch of fake screenshots in there. And yeah, good luck, Matt. But you're a loser. No one cares what you think.